Welcome to early 2023, the time of the year where you start to see a lot of videos and blog posts about the best of credit cards and all these different types of categories. I'm definitely one of those people making those types of videos, but we're going to do things a little bit differently in this one. I'm choosing one single credit card for every single category, or I should say 7 top categories, and that single card is going to be my number one pick to represent an entire spend category. So for example, travel, dining, etc. And may I just say that with the hundreds if not thousands of different credit card options that we have here in the US market, this was no easy task. I'll even go as far as to say that some of my choices, at least for some of you, may be very controversial. So let's kick things off with my first number one pick card for the travel category, which is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The welcome offer at the moment is to earn 60,000 Ultimate Rewards points worth around $900, potentially a bit more, toward travel after you meet the spend requirements of 4K on purchases in the first 3 months. This card is also loaded with extremely valuable rewards multipliers, a lot of which relate to travel. You'll earn 10 points per dollar on hotels and car rentals, also Chase Dining when you book these all through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, and then 5 points per dollar on flights through that same portal. However, for all your bookings done outside of Chase, you'll still be awarded triple points for all other travel worldwide and triple on dining at regular restaurants, bars, etc. Finally, you'll earn 1 point per dollar on all other purchases. While it does carry an annual fee of $550, it offers a ton of great main benefits that help you offset it and get that value back. I'm not going to list all these right here or go over them. That's more saved for an individual review dedicated to this card, but feel free to pause this screen to look them over in more detail. As for why it wins as my number one pick for travel, well, it's got really strong rewards categories for all travel. With just those 3 point per dollar categories, that's at least a 4.5% return on pretty much everything. It's also got the best overall rewards program, it's a well-rounded card product, and it's very easy to use. There are definitely other great travel cards out there in the market, but very few do what this card can in terms of awarding you very, very nicely, not just for flights, hotels, and car rentals, but also things like cruises, parking, tolls, ride shares, and more. All of that counts as travel. Plus, the card also makes the bottom floor for the value of your points 1.5 cents each. That's phenomenal. And then coupling those high rewards with a lot of great benefits that span over a lot of different areas made for a really compelling overall package. Now on to our second category, the best overall credit card for lounge access. And it is the American Express Platinum Card, with no surprise here at all. The public welcome offer is to earn 80,000 points, which is worth around $800 or more toward flights after spending 6K in the first 6 months. As for the rewards categories, well, they're rather lackluster. There's just 2 categories that earn 5 points per dollar, the first of which is flights when you book them directly with the airlines or via the Amex travel portal, and that's on up to $500,000 of spend per year. The second is for hotels only if they are prepaid via the Amex travel portal. Everything else you put through the card for a regular purchase will earn just 1 point per dollar. This card does have the highest annual fee of any of the ones I'll mention here in the video of $6.95, but for the right people, it more than makes up for it with all these main benefits. Feel free to pause this screen to look them over in more detail. As for why the Amex Platinum Card wins for this category, well, it's due to the Global Lounge collection that comes as one of the card benefits. You'll get access to over 1,400 lounges worldwide across 140 countries at 500 plus airports. This includes the Amex Centurion lounges, Escape lounges, Delta Sky Clubs, Aerospace lounges, Plaza Premium lounges, Lufthansa lounges, Priority Pass, and other Amex partner lounges. There's no other travel card available here in the US for which you can apply directly that gives you more lounge access than the Platinum Card. So if that is your thing, this is your card. Let's move on to our third category, which is going to be dining, and my number one pick for the card in this one is going to be the US Bank Altitude Go Visa Signature Card. How many of you thought I was going to say the Amex Gold Card? If you were to pick up this card right now, you could earn 20,000 points worth $200 toward cashback or travel after spending 1,000 bucks in the first 90 days. There's also a 0% APR offer with the terms there on the screen. Once you've earned that bonus, you can keep on earning 4 points per dollar on dining, including takeout and delivery, double on groceries, gas, and streaming services, and then 1x on everything else. The card has a $0 annual fee and even comes with a $15 streaming credit every year. As for why this card was my #1 pick for dining, well, it's due to that 4 point per dollar category equal to 4% cash back. That is year round, by the way, without any monthly limits, quarterly limits, or yearly limits. Just keep on earning long term. All the points you earn are worth 1 cent each for travel and cash back, and again with no annual fee. That's a really powerful setup. Yep, the Amex Gold card also earns 4 points per dollar on dining, but that's only equal to 4% back for your return on flights and select hotels for the most part, or via select transfer partners if you know how to maximize those. For everything else, like cashback, cruises, rental cars, most other hotels, you get a way worse value than the US Bank Altitude Go card. Our next category is groceries, and the card that I picked for this one is, still not choosing this one, the Citi Custom Cash Card. Getting approved for this card for the first time will allow you to earn a welcome offer of $200 of cash back, issued as 20,000 thank you points. The spend requirements and also the 0% APR opportunity are also listed there on the screen. As for the rewards, this card is pretty unique due to its flexibility. You'll earn 5% back in your top eligible spend category. That is, where you spend the most each billing cycle. It's valid on the first $500, then 1% beyond that each cycle. As for all other purchases, you'll earn 1% back on those. There's no annual fee on this card, and the main benefits are pretty much non-existent because this card is all about the rewards. As for why this card wins, well, out of the list of eligible top spend categories, of which there are currently 10 right now, grocery stores is one of them. So you can effectively earn 5% back on your groceries up to the limit of $500 per month / billing cycle. The card also gives you a guaranteed point value of 1 cent each, so 10,000 points is $100, and that value there is valid for both cashback or travel. And these points can be transferred or combined with other Citi cards that also earn thank you points. Finally, with no annual fee, there's nothing to cut into your earnings every year. Now, I'm extremely confident that many of you out there are thinking about 2 cards in particular that are known to be the kings of grocery spend, and I'm going to put those 2 against the Citi Custom Cash to further solidify why I chose the Citi card product as my #1 take-home card for grocery spend. Here is the Citi Custom Cash Card versus the American Express Gold Card versus the American Express Blue Cash Preferred Card. And you can see there at the top of the screen that I went big with the assumptions here, and this is all based upon spending $1,000 per month just on groceries. That is $12,000 per year, likely more than most people spend, but I wanted to make this a rigorous comparison. And also when redeeming for cashback rewards. That's because cashback tends to have set rates with every card issuer, whereas travel redemptions can be all over the place based on different types of travel redemptions, and that comparison can be extremely murky. Of course, you can pause this screen as long as you like to look over everything, but to give you a quick orientation here, on that left-hand side, I put the earning rates from points to cash back, whatever the cards earn, and also keeping in mind their caps. For example, $500 a month or $6,000 a year, or in the case of the Amex Gold, $25,000 per year, which was irrelevant for this comparison. For each one of the cards on the third bullet point, I show you how many points or cash back in total can be earned with the amount of spend listed there at the top of 1K. And then on the right-hand side, I convert the points to cash back to make everything on the same playing ground. I also subtracted out the cost of the annual fees in red to arrive at the profit there in green. And for the Amex Gold and Amex Blue Business Plus, I did 2 of those calculations because the first one is just the annual fee outright without using any of the credits or benefits, whereas the second calculation where it says "or" in bold font, I subtracted out the effective annual fee. So for example, with the Gold card, that is using both of the $120 credits, and then for the Blue Cash Preferred, that is using the credits for the Disney Bundle and the Equinox Plus credits. Because remember, if the only reason why you're paying for Grubhub now, for example, is because you have the Amex Gold card with the credit, you're actually not saving any money. You're paying Amex an annual fee of $250 to then start using Grubhub. So you're just paying Amex instead of the food delivery company. Category number 5 is gas, and my choice here is once again the Citi Custom Cash Card. All the stuff you see here on the screen is unchanged from when you saw this card earlier for the grocery category. So let's move on to the next thing here in terms of why it wins. Well, again, the same reason, but this time because you can earn up to 5% back at gas stations up to $500 per month. Now, just to be clear here, to make this work, this is only for your top eligible spend category per month. So if you only use the card just for gas or just for groceries earlier, then by default, you would earn 5% back on that category. But if you kind of use the card for a bunch of different spend categories and you happen to spend more on gas one month or movie theaters or travel, then Citi might actually give you 5% back in those other categories, whichever one was your top spend. Which is why, again, you might want to set the card aside for a specific type of spend, or even get yourself into multiple Citi Custom Cash cards via product changes over time. Now let's discuss which card to use for online shopping. My number one pick for this category is going to be the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card. The welcome offer at the moment is to earn up to $250 cash back in the form of a statement credit, broken into two different parts that you can see on the screen. One through regular spend, one through spending and checking out via PayPal specifically. There's also a 0% APR opportunity, as well as $0 buy now, pay later intro fees for their Planet feature. But the best part is how the card continues to reward you long term. You'll earn 3% cash back in groceries at US supermarkets, gas at US gas stations, and 3% on US online retail purchases. All of these are subject to $6,000 per year individually per category. Although it does have a $0 annual fee, it does offer a few main benefits like an $84 credit for the Disney bundle, a $180 credit for Home Chef, also ShopRunner and Amex offers. Taking a look at why this card wins, well, that huge value 3% category for US online retail is phenomenal. There's no list of stores from which you need to choose where you shop. It also works at Amazon, by the way. There are also no monthly or quarterly limits, just that yearly cap of $6K, and again, that $0 annual fee. And to prove to you all that Amazon does indeed work, I tried a transaction as I have the card myself for $67.99. Gave it a few days for the transaction to post and the rewards to reflect. I saw $2.04 come on through. The 3% therefore got triggered, and I was a happy guy. And our seventh and final category, the one that covers everything else, aka our catch-all cards / the ones that earn 2% back or better, I've chosen to go with the Citi Double Cash card. Although not long ago we did see a limited time cash-based welcome offer, right now that has gone away, and there's just a 0% APR opportunity with the terms there on the screen. For the ongoing rewards though, which is what this card is all about, it gives you a flat 2% cash back on all purchases. That is 1% when you buy, and then the additional 1% when you pay for those purchases. It has no annual fee and really no main benefits that are worth mentioning. So why mention this card at all, let alone make it the number one pick for this category? Well, here's why it wins. It allows you to earn 2% cash back without categories to keep track of, activation or enrollment, minimum redemption requirements, or minimum redemption increments. It also earns cash back in the form of thank you points, which is still good for cash back as they preserved 1 cent per point for the redemption rates, and it's still good for travel because you can still combine your points with other Citi cards that also earn thank you points. That is like the Citi Premier or the Citi Custom Cash, for example. You can pool them all together and cover different rewards categories and basically have like a 5% setup with a bunch of 3% categories on the Citi Premier, and then also 2% as your minimum for everything else, all in with just a total annual fee cost of $95. And to wrap things up, here's a visual of all 7 categories here with my top picks in each one. So 6 card products total, as the Citi Custom Cash won 2 of them. Hopefully this will provide you with at least some guidance in terms of which cards may be a good fit for you as you're building out your strategy for the year as well. And with all that said, that wraps up all my top number 1 picks for all the major spend categories for 2023. If you enjoyed this video and believe it could benefit other people, then please help me get it in front of them by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on those notifications. Also check out the links down below in the description area to earn some more cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, and to view my site with some great credit card offers that I've organized into different categories to help you find the cards that you like best. I thank you all for watching today's video. Hope it brought you some great value. I look forward to seeing you in future videos, and while you're waiting on my next upload, always remember that you are great.